Okay, hi Miss Kotzer. This is my first free response question. Don't really know how to do these, so there's a reason I'm a nurse and not a teacher. But the question is, there have been many studies recently concerning coffee drinking and cholesterol level. While it is known that several coffee bean components can elevate blood cholesterol level, it is thought that a new type of paper coffee filter may reduce the presence of some of these components in coffee. The effect of the new filter on cholesterol level will be studied over a 10-week period using 300 non-smokers who each drink 4 cups of caffeinated coffee per day. Each of these 300 participants will be assigned to one of two groups: the experimental group, who will only drink coffee that has been made with the new filter, or the control group, who will only drink coffee that has been made with the standard filter. Each participant's cholesterol level will be measured at the beginning and the end of the study. And question A says, describe an appropriate method for assigning the subjects to the two groups so that each group will have an equal number of subjects. So I already did start. I went ahead and did this one, so I'll just kind of show you my thought process. So if you put 300 slips, I love the slip thing. I do it almost every time. If there's an opportunity to do it, I will. 300 slips in a bowl, 150 of them, about half of them, or exactly half of them, will be labeled 1, and 150 of them will be labeled 2. So it's half and half. So have each participant come up and just randomly grab a slip and make sure that you're like, I didn't write this, but make sure you're like shaking it up so it's random. And the participants who draw a 1 will go to the experimental group, so they'll get the different filter. And the ones who draw 2 will go to the control group to get the usual paper filter. And this will make sure that not only is the assignment random, but each one has an equal number of participants. So the next question is, in this study, the researchers chose to include a group who drank coffee that was made with the standard filter. Why is it important to include a control group in this study, even though the cholesterol levels will be measured at the beginning and the end of the study? So the main reason for this is, even though the cholesterol levels are going to be measured at the beginning and the end, you still don't want to accidentally create a confounding variable with like whether or not just like normal coffee is doing it and not the filters. By having one group who uses the filters, I can't talk and write at the same time. By having one group who uses the filters and one group, or the new filters, and one group uses the old filters, you're making sure that it's actually the filters and not anything else. So let me write that down real quick. I'm going to pause this. So like I was saying, I wrote, by using a control group, researchers are making sure any changes are actually due to filters and nothing else, because that's actually what they're studying. It's not just if coffee changes your cholesterol, it's if a different filter impacts the amount that it impacts your cholesterol, if that makes sense. Okay, C, which test would you conduct to determine whether the change in cholesterol level would be greater if people use the new filter rather than using this, I can't read, the standard filter? So I would use, because it's a difference in means, I would use the 2-sample t-test. And I would do it, but I don't think I really have the data I need to actually do it. And the last question is, why would the researchers choose to only use non-smokers in this study? So it's a pretty simple answer. Smoking can affect pretty much everything about your body, including your cholesterol. So by getting rid of that, you're getting rid of any confusion that could arise from having a smoker versus a non-smoker. If they had used some smokers and some non-smokers, it might change the results, and it might make it harder to tell if there's an association between filters and cholesterol, because the smoking will be a confounding variable. And that's that. All right, bye-bye.